Hey now, hey now. All right. So we ready to go. This is Coffee and Charts Live, volume number 12, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're basically doing some market observation over a cup of coffee. Iced coffee, hot coffee, espresso, whatever you got. Get your coffee on deck. I actually don't even have any coffee. But I do have a banana nut muffin though. All right, so we're going to take a look at the market. If this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure that when you come on that you like the video, share the video. Also, if you're tuning in from YouTube, subscribe to the channel, turn on your bell notifications. If you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to follow the TeamAlliance page and also like and share the video. And if you're tuning in from Twitter, be sure to retweet this video in your feed. All right, so we can get some more distribution for it and potentially get someone else to see. All right. I can see comments on all platforms. So whatever platform you're on, when you come on, just say hello, just say what's up so I can acknowledge you. And I will get to your question if you have one. All right. So feel free to post any questions that you have. All right. So, and before I even do any of that, let me take a bite of this muffin. This muffin is nice and warm. Lord have mercy. Banana nut muffin, man. Look at that. Look at the nuts on there. So accurately placed. Hold on. Take a bite out of crime, man. You remember them commercials? Remember the dog? He was like a dog. He had a trench coat on. And he used to be like, take a bite out of crime. Some of y'all not old enough to remember that, but and look who's here, the muffin woman. As I'm eating my muffin. The vibe, man. All right, so there it is. Look, Nico is old like me. McGruff. Yes, that was his name. McGruff. That's right. Sadiq is an old head. Charles is an old head. Oh, snap. I used to like that dog, man. He was mad cool. He had mad swag. He should be like, take a bite out of crime. All right, so let me see if I can get this a little larger. Let's zoom in a little bit on the chart. All right. This platform that you're looking at on the screen is called NADEX. NADEX is a very powerful trading platform where we are able to trade a very specific instrument, which is called a binary option. Now, some of you may have heard of binary options. However, they are the traditional binary options that you can trade on other overseas trading platforms that are not NADEX. NADEX is very unique. NADEX is very special, actually, because one, they are a US based platform. Two, they are regulated in the US. Very important. Because what that means is in order for you to succeed and have longevity here in the United States as a business or a trading platform that is regulated by these government agencies here in the US, such as the NFA, which is the National Futures Association, and the CFTC, which is the Commodity Futures and Trading Commission. These agencies regulate financial companies to ensure that they do good business. That's very important, because if a platform comes along and they're not doing good business, but they're doing shady business, one, they won't last. And if they do last, they'll not do what's in the best interest of their customers at the expense of the customer. And because they're not regulated, they get away with it. So we don't have to deal with those issues. Thank God. Lord knows in my career, I've dealt with many companies and many platforms that are, some of them, probably most of them, no longer around. All of this just to be able to trade the markets. So we're fortunate to have NADEX. NADEX is a US-based regulated trading platform where we can trade a very specific instrument called the binary option, which is not like the traditional binary options that you may have heard of before or may have seen on other overseas platforms. They are not the same thing. They are different. They are better because on NADEX is an exchange. So they have created a true market for the binaries, meaning that the instrument is simple to trade. Either you're buying or you're selling. The option has an expiration time, so it will expire within X amount of time. For example, the 5-minute binaries expire after 5 minutes. They got 20-minute binaries. They got 2-hour binaries. They got weekly binaries. The binaries that we trade are the 5-minute binary options. The binaries expire after the time expires that they are for. To be correct means that you'll profit. If you're incorrect, it means that you'll lose. You'll lose whatever you risked on the trade, whatever you put at risk on the trade financially. It's an exchange, meaning that for every person that's trading on one side, there has to be someone trading on the other side in order to create the market. So if I'm buying, there has to be someone on the other side to sell the option. And basically all it is if I'm buying, I'm anticipating that the market is going to remain above whatever the strike price is of the option. Meaning that I'm anticipating that the market's going to stay above the line. The person that's trading on the opposite side of me, they're anticipating that the market will move below the line and remain under there by the time the clock runs out. One of us is going to be correct. One of us is not going to be correct. If you're not correct, you lose. If you are correct, you win and you earn that profit on that trade. That's how simple binaries are. And it's what makes this platform so powerful, because now what it means is you can put all of your ideas in the market to the test. You know, some people, they like strategies. They like signals. And a great way to test signals and strategies is on a platform like this. Because either the signal is going to lead to a profit or it's not. Either your strategy will consistently generate profit or it won't. Great way to find out if it is to test it out on the platform. Take your strategy and trade. Test it out, see what happens. Now, is that a way for you to build a career in trading? No. No, it's not. Why not? because you basically with a strategy or with signals are flipping the coin. Here we go. Excuse me while I take another bite out of crime. With signals and strategies, you're taking a coin and you flipping it. You flip the coin, you say heads. Hopefully it lands on heads, but if it lands on tails, you lose. There's no in between. Oh, I almost lost. If you almost lost, it means you won. If you almost won, it means you lost. There's no almost. You either win or you lose the trade. Now, question becomes, is what you're looking at in the market or what you're doing in the market able to consistently put you in winning trades? That's the question. Is your strategy or your signals able to put you consistently in winners? And as I'm talking, I'll be moving this green box because this is part of our observation process on the platform. Right now, just observing the market and just waiting to see what the market ultimately wants to do. So anyway, you're flipping that coin, hoping that it lands on whatever you called. So if you bought, you hoping it lands on heads. If you sold, you hoping it lands on tails. Question is, why did you select heads? Why did you select tails? And this is where your strategy or your signals come in. Well, the signal said tails, so that's why I went with tails. Okay. Why did the signal say tails? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm not sure. They're just signals, you know. This signal service said that they are about 90% accurate. So I should win 9 out of 10 of these trades. Until you don't win 9 out of 10. What if you lose one trade 3 times? That could happen. It could still be a 90% strategy, but you might get 3 losers in a row. Ouch. And the problem is that you don't know why they lost. Makes it even worse. So 1, you lost. 2, you don't know why. This is why signals don't work long term, and they cannot help or contribute to you building a career in trading. Period. And I go through this whole kind of spiel just to help to educate and shed light on what these things are for people, because a lot of people come around and they are exposed to this information and they love talking about signals and strategies. Like they think that that's the answer. It's really not the answer though. So what about strategies? Hey, this strategy I bought, the dude that created the strategy said, you know, I'm going to win at least 85% if I trade at the certain times. All right, so you follow everything that he tells you to do, trade at certain times, and then you apply the strategy. But for whatever reason, that 85%, again, when you start losing them trades, they come too consistently. They back to back. Like, damn, that one lost. Damn, another one lost. Shit. And now you, again, don't know why the trade's lost. That 15% lose part of the ratio is basically what allows the person that's selling you that strategy to be like, hey, I told you ain't going to win all of them. I told you. I said that you ain't going to win them all. You're going to win 85%. So again, where does that leave you? So where do these signals and these strategies basically leave you when it comes to being able to be consistent? They don't play a part in you being consistent. You basically will by buying a strategy or subscribing to signals, put yourself in the same position that everyone else is in, which is coin flipping. That's all you're going to do. Now, if you can't coin flip, you can't use signals, you can't use strategies, what can you do? What is it that you can do? Well, you could actually learn how to understand the market. And here we go. How you doing? You could learn how to understand the market. Well, Mark, I'm not sure how to, where to start. All right, well, I'll train you. I'm just saying. See, it's so funny because when I do like observations and when I'm on here showing people what it is that I'm looking at, they don't realize that this is training. What you see me doing is training. But the main part of what you need is actually mindset training. That's the part right there that you don't realize is the most important part. So it's not just about me showing you what I'm looking at in the market. You need to understand, well, all right, he's showing me this, but what is it that I'm actually waiting for? See? And you won't understand that part until you start to understand yourself. Because you need to be able to answer that question quick. What is it that I'm waiting for? What is it that you're waiting for? That's my question to you. Are you waiting for a trade? Ooh, this is so good. Y'all got to stay with me. Are you waiting for a trade? Yeah, I'm waiting for a trade. I want a winning trade. So you're waiting for a winning trade? I hope so. Now you hope that you're waiting for a winning trade. See? So you see how I dig in, but the real answer doesn't come out yet because you really don't know what you're waiting for yet. And you have to. The market's not playing games with you. If you don't know what you're waiting for, then why should the market reward you? Winning a trade and knowing why is a reward. Oh. Oh boy. That's your reward. You are rewarded for understanding the market and knowing why you are in a trade. There's a reward for that. It's called a win. Now, people confuse that with winning some trades and losing some trades. And that's not in our framework at all. See, the part where you're losing trades is not that I'm suggesting that you can't lose or it's not possible for you to lose if you do what you see me doing. It is possible for you to lose, which is why you need to do exactly what you see me doing. But the thing is, you don't know what I'm actually doing. You think that me showing you what I'm doing is what I'm doing. When in actuality, what I'm doing is actually applying the mindset to my observation in the market. So you think I'm here looking for a trade, when in actuality, I'm simply looking at the market. This is good. This is good. I'm looking at the market. Well, Mark, why are you just looking at the market? When do you get into the trade? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? So the most important part of what I'm talking about now is that it doesn't matter when I get into a trade. You need to know why am I getting into a trade? Why? The same reason that you need to understand why I'm not. Right now, we're looking at the market, right? Mark, I remember you said when all the candles are in the box, you can trade. I never said that. That's what you thought I said. See, you see it. Look, and I declare this is how people are. They do this. Exactly what I'm saying. This is what people be doing. But Mark, you said if the candles are in the box, you're good. When did I say that? Go back and get the clip of me ever saying that. See? So I didn't say that, but that's how you interpret what I did say. What I will say is that the candle should be in the box before you even consider being in a trade. What else have I said about the box? Well, the candles should also be clustered. Uh-oh. See, there he goes. Now he's going into it again. Well, you said, all I said was that the candle should be in a box. And this is exactly how people will take what they think I'm saying, and then they'll try to trade that way. But under no circumstance have you ever heard me even talk about getting into a trade. What I'm always talking about is the process that I'm using. You never hear me talk about getting into a trade. The only thing that you'll see is me entering into a trade when I record. And you'll see the trade and you'll see how the market looks. You're like, damn, ooh, that market was stable. Exactly. So how am I always ending up in trades when the market is stable is the question. That's the question you should be asking me. Man, how do you always end up being in the trade when the market is stable? See? And then from that point on will open up your understanding and the light bulbs will start to come on. Like, oh, you know what? I'm answering the question. Yeah. Because your question is, how do you always end up in a trade when the market is stable? You just answered the question. You said, how do you end up in a trade? The answer is, I'm only ending up in a trade when the market is stable. So the way that I end up in a trade only when the market is stable is by applying the same process over and over and over and over and over again. It's the same process over and over again. So the key is to obtain the training in order to understand and execute the process, because that's the only way that you'll be able to do what you see me do. See, in order to do what I do, you have to do what I do. The first thing I do is mindset. Mindset all day. Just like how I can be observing and someone else will also be observing. Like right now, I'm looking at the market. Somebody else is looking at the market right now. And they're like, all right, yeah, I see the market slowing down. I think I'm gonna get into a trade soon. Why would you think that? You never hear me say that. You don't ever hear me say that. Oh, the market's slowing down. I think I'm gonna get into a trade soon. The reason I never say that is because I don't think anything. Why not? Because I'm in observation. It's not my job to think. All I'm doing is observing what the market is actually doing. So instead of me thinking and then projecting my thoughts on the market, I don't do that. I allow the market to do whatever it's doing. And I observe. And I apply the same process over and over. And that process will ultimately lead to me ending up in a trade when the market is stable, if the market gave me the trade. See how that works? This muffin is delicious. He said, come on out of there, Mortimer. I see everybody likes Mortimer. Mortimer's a good guy, huh? See, Mortimer's an idiot. See, look. Let me just, so people understand. Mortimer is just a personality that talks the way that people talk. He's the embodiment of stupidity. Now, it's funny to us, but on the real, when you hear Mortimer talk and ask these questions, that's the same questions people be asking. The same silly stuff that people say. Same stuff. Well, Mark, I'm not sure what you mean by the market is moving too much. How can it be moving too much? I've seen instances where it's not moving at all. And then suddenly it just pops on me and I lose the trade. Well, why were you in that trade? You're not elaborating, Mortimer. And see, like I said, these are real questions that people ask. It sounds funny because Mortimer says it, but Mortimer's asking the real questions that people be asking and saying the real stuff that people be saying. And it sounds funny, but it's not funny. It's really not. But I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Because the person is still trying to figure out the process. When you don't figure out the process, you apply the process. See, they're still thinking that there's something to figure out. Well, I've seen just like the whole scene instances. I've seen instances where the market wasn't moving at all. Yeah, and the instances where the market wasn't moving, what was it doing prior to that? How long was it not moving for? Uh-oh. See, now when I start to dig in and ask these questions, they're like, oh, well, it was like that for a few candles. All right, so is this the first time that you've seen the market moving like that? Yeah. Oh. So you might have actually just gotten caught up in the transition. So you actually could have been in an environment that was actually not slow prior to that. But because you are in trade mode, you see the market slow down and you think a trade is coming. And that's exactly what you do. You force your way into one. You know, I never thought of it like that. And thinking back, I think you might be right. Then Mortimer changes his tune. Now he's like, oh shit, yeah, damn, he's right again. So it's like it's funny, but not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Because this is real stuff that people will do. And the more often that you do these things, you keep tearing up and blowing out your account. It's so crazy, man. Let me tell you something, right? I have multiple people that have come into training with me, trained for a period of time. And y'all know what I'm heavy on. And y'all know what our process is and what our protocol is. At this point, we all know that the main part of our process is what? Recording. I've had people come into training, do everything except record. Everything except record. They'll post emails. You know, they'll be in trade. They'll post the email confirmation. Where's the recording? They'll post a snapshot of a chart. Where's the recording? They won't post it all. They'll just be like, oh, I took that trade. You took what trade? Where's the recording? So they're doing all of this stuff, but they don't have not one recording. Then I'll ask them, hey, are you recording? Yeah, I'm recording. Send me some of the recordings. This is me privately. Send me some of your recordings. Oh, I don't have all of them because sometimes I'll be pressing record and it don't be recording. Well, send me the ones you do. How many do you actually have? Oh, I got about 15 of them. Send me all of them. How many did they send me? Didn't send me shit. From that point on, I give them about a week or two. 2 weeks later, what happens? They leave the group. No accountability. You don't have any recordings. I don't see what you're doing, right? All you telling me is that you taking all of these trades and you doing this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. You'll go as far as posting snapshots in the group chat. You'll go as far as pasting emails for trades that you entered because you get excited. Just like, and y'all have seen this, for those of you in the group. You ever see somebody post an email confirmation and they had 20 contracts? And you're like, 20 contracts? When do you get the 20 contracts? Because he or she has not one recording that led up to them getting to that size contract. And you know what I say about that. You'll win until you don't win. It's not that I'm being negative or I'm not encouraging you. I am encouraging you. But I'm not encouraging you to not be accountable. I'm not co-signing that. Oh, it's okay for you to trade. Mind you, you're trading with what I taught you to do. Problem is, in actuality, you're not. You're trading with what you think I taught you. If you're not recording, you're not doing what I taught you. Hold on. Hold on, man. I see this is turning into something else. I didn't even mean to talk about this, but it came up, so here it is. You trading with what you think I taught you, which is really you just being hard-headed, doing what you want to do and taking the piece of what you have learned and applying that, which basically means that you're in trade mode. So you're in trade mode, and now you want to do a project, right? So now you're doing Project 21 or you're doing Project Freedom or whatever. Sometimes some of y'all even will have the audacity to announce it. Hey, I'm doing Project such and such now. Really? Okay. Yeah, I'm on trade 8. Huh? You just said you're doing the project just now. How you on trade 8? This is what I'm saying. Where's the accountability? Where is it? Anyway. My thing is this. You don't see me doing that. When I announce a project, there's a recording for every trade. Up, 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 up. Every trade, there's a recording for it. And on this project, I went as far as even giving description and commentary of what the market was doing for every trade. Accountability. What we talking about? So people look at that and they're like, man, he's doing a lot. I'm doing a lot, but I'm showing you what you should be doing. You should do the same thing. It starts with recording. There should be so many posts in the group chat that the group chat is flooded all day with recordings. I'm just saying. And there are many of you that record and post, and I love it. And I'm very proud of you, and that has contributed to the growth of the group. What I'm saying is that it'll happen even more and even faster if more of you do it. And now I'm talking about the people that try to, like, you. It's almost like you trying to game the system. Oh, well, I know how to, I got this. All I do is wait for this and wait for that, and boom, then I take the trade. I'm at 20 contracts. Some have even gone as far as telling me that they completed the project. I'm like, all right, cool. You complete the project. Where's the videos? Oh, I didn't record all of them. Okay. Send me the ones you did record. I ain't get a video yet. 2 weeks later, they leave in the group. So you can't fool me, and you can't fool you, and you cannot fool this market. So tell me, why would someone who completed the project, quote unquote, leave the group? Why would someone who completed the project leave the group? That's for one. Why would someone who completed the project not have videos? I'll let y'all answer that. Why? See? So like, I deal in reality. I'm not dealing in la la land and in fantasy world. This is not Final Fantasy. This is real life. If you completed the project and you have no recordings, and then after you complete the project, you leave the group, what the hell happened? What happened? What happened? I want to know. And I'm only giving you one instance. Like, this is just one specific example of something that has been done. This has been done before. My thing is, I can't verify whether they completed it or not. I don't have any videos. I'm like, I don't know what you did. I really don't. You could have done anything. So again, you're trying to game the system. It's like you're trying to take a shortcut. You're trying to accelerate through a process that you can't accelerate through. That's like you trying to force your way into trades. It's the equivalent. You cannot game the system the same way you can't game the market. And the market is not playing with you. Next thing you know, you be done, took a trade and lost. And if you ask me, if you're that dude that claimed that he or she completed the project, and then I don't see you after, I know what happened without you having to tell me. See, what happened is the shortcut caught up to you, and it cut you. You got cut. The market smacked you, and it's over. And now, because you did not have any accountability to build up to that level, you feel real bad. And you're like, you know what? Shit, fuck this. I'm out. And then you leave the group. You leave the very thing that gave you the foundation for what you're doing. But because you still have your BS, again, your mindset, the mindset, this is why the mindset is the most important. You trying to get there before your mindset gets there. Even if you get there without the mindset there, you won't stay there. So you might have completed the project, but guess what? Then you get slapped. So what was the point? What was the point of that? So anyway, but yeah, I think I started talking about this because I was using Mortimer as the example of how it sounds when these people ask these questions. Well, I was under the assumption, Mark, that, you were under the assumption of what? What? When the market slows down and you're moving at 1 MP, you got 1 MP and the market slows down, then you have the +1 and you're good to go. Was the market stable? Well, I mean, it looked pretty stable to me. Well, how do you know it was stable? Well, the trade setup. No, that's wrong. That's not what I'm asking. I didn't say did the trade setup. I said, how did you know the market was stable? What happens? That's what happens. Come on, man. It's like, come on, just stop it. Stop it. All right, let me come into the comments a little bit. Oh, man. Yeah, Mortimer is hilarious. Mortimer's funny, but Mortimer's not smart at all. He's not smart. He said, you know, Mortimer and a Randolph. He said, we break him in the group chat. That's a fact. Anthony Pandozzi, what's happening? David Johnson, what's good? He said, put the water in the juice, man. Young Henderson, I see Walker, Ron Carter. I see Mo in the building. Mike is here. Tavares, Charles, Nico, Stacy, Bilal, Melanie. I see Peleus too. All right, what's happening? I like this. Angel says, people don't realize this ain't a strategy, it's Rosetta Stone. Oh. She said, we learning how to speak market over here. Whoa. Let's get it. She said, you'll get lost in the land if you don't understand the language. Shawnee said, Mark, like you said previously, imagine if you didn't have recordings for us, just screenshot, we'd all be lost. Exactly. Because what you going to do with a screenshot? You know, and I understand, you know, people will do that because they are not recording yet. And don't let me, like, don't take anything that I'm saying to you guys just in general like this as discouragement. I'm not discouraging you at all. I'm encouraging you. The reason I bring this up is because I want to put the emphasis on recording. I want to put the emphasis on accountability. Doesn't that make sense? Your focus should be accountability, which means your focus should be recording. Because that's how you're going to grow. You're going to grow the right way. See, you can grow in the wrong direction too. Make no mistake about it. You can grow in the wrong direction. You want to grow in the right direction. Nicole Blunt, what's happening? Pelly said trade mode is not market mode, so you will never get success. Facts. Johnson, what's good? I see Jay Carly popped in. Otis, what's happening? Yep. So, you know, like even right now, right at this moment, right? Like we're looking right now at the market. We see what the market's doing. Market's in the box. Surely is. Is it ranging? Yep. Is it stable? Yep. Is it clustering? Yeah, it actually is. Is there a trade? No, not yet. And that right there, you see how I just went through the process just by observing. I just asked 3 questions. And the answers was yes, yes, and no. Well, I think it was yes, yes. Was it yes, yes, or yes, yes, yes? I forgot. What was the first thing I said? I said, is the market in the, oh yeah. Are the candles in the box? Yes. Is the market stable? Yes. Are the candles clustering? Yes. So it was 3 yeses. So it was yes, yes, yes. And then it was no. Okay. Just making sure. Jay Carly says, I cannot help anyone grow from a screenshot, and I cannot help anyone grow whose answer is always, well, because. Very true. She says, I cannot help you. Well, because you don't think that you're ever wrong. Indeed. That's another thing, too, that I have experienced multiple times with just various people that have come through TA. When you think that you know more than me, you really done fucked up. And I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, like I'm the man and I know everything. But I know enough to know when not to do certain things. And when you think that you're justifying doing what I don't do, you have a problem. If even I don't do certain things, why would you do them? Like, it's okay for you to do it. And even I don't do that. Never got that. I never understood that. But there have been people, they came through. Oh, what I do, I use, and they'll even have the audacity to tell the truth. They'll be like, I use what Mark does, but I put my own little spin on it. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? That explains why you don't record. Oh, so wait. The light bulb's going on. Looky here. Look at this. So that's why you're not recording. Oh, it makes sense now. You not recording because you violating everything I'm teaching. You can't record. Now it makes sense. Makes sense now. That's why you won't record. That's why you refuse to record, because you know that what you're doing is not what I do. See, now, mind you, I'm not saying that whatever you figure out on your own won't work. But I know for a fact that if it's not in alignment with the market, it won't work. And way too often, you'll drift off into doing shit that's not in alignment with the market. Some of the trades that I've seen people end up in, where they're justifying being in that trade, and make no mistake about it, even if you don't have a recording, there's a recording for it. So if you tell us what binary it was, we're going to be able to see it anyway, because we got recording on deck all day. Somebody will clip it and they'll post it. Be like, yo, this right here is what he did. Telling on you. You're getting told on, because we're going to have a recording, even if you didn't record. But my point is this. You should be recording. That way you can be held accountable. So anyway, yeah, that's how people have gotten busted before. They'll post either a screenshot or they'll tell us what time it was. Be like, oh yeah, I took the 6:35. You have recording? Oh no, I didn't record it. 2 minutes later, the recording is in the chat. Like, oh shit, where'd that come from? Come on, man. Come on. We got recording on deck. So this is what I'm saying as far as accountability. Even when you try to cheat the system, you still gonna be held accountable. Even if you didn't record, there's a recording for what you did. So if you are at least gonna tell the truth, we're gonna know exactly what you did anyway. Anyway. Oh, by the way, this is what I was talking about with the position change. Here, you look at this. Look at this. This is a position change right here. This is what I was talking about on I forgot what live stream it was on. I think it was the last live market observation, if I'm not mistaken. I was talking about the position change. That's it right there. See that? So what you want to see is the continuation of the range. You want to see the continuation of that, and then RCB, of course, ultimately. And when that aligns with the timing of the protocol, when you apply parameters and it lines up, that's going to be the trade that you should be in. That's it. That's it, man. Well, Mark, but what if it doesn't meet parameters? Then you shouldn't be in that. Discipline. Discipline. See, we don't force our way in. This is another thing. People will take what I'm teaching them and they'll try to force their way in. Can't do that. Can't do that. Let me zoom in. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. I think that was Leona asking me that just now about the screen. So that's a little better. Also, when I'm showing this, what I try to do, I eliminate the left side so that you don't look back. See, because if you're just looking at the overall chart, you can visually become more confused. But when I zoom in and I'm only pointing out what you should be focused on, then that's where your attention will go. So like I do that intentionally. But I zoomed in just now, so you should be able to see the bigger candles now. But yeah, so I mean, like just like just now, you see how this you had your transition candle here, so the market moved into a new position, and where it established the new range was in the box. However, there was no trade that set up. Why not? Because parameters were not met. Look what happened. This was the last candle right here of that binary. Look at what happened during that candle. Look at where the market ended up. So if you would have jumped the gun and just taken the trade like, oh, it's stable. Oh, yeah, it's in position. Let me take that. No, we don't take that. See, we don't do that. You just got to wait. You just have to wait. If you wouldn't have waited and you tried to buy just now, you would have lost that trade. And this is why we don't lose, because we're not ever going to force our way in. Simple. We're not ever going to violate parameters. Simple. See? So Leona, was that helpful? That should have been. look Shani getting at me. Yo, look, Shani mad because I don't get at y'all when y'all put them recordings in the chat. He mad because I don't really be getting at y'all. Shawnee's like, nah, man. Don't be putting that garbage in the chat. No, but see, a lot of times in the chat when you guys post recordings, the reason that I don't respond is because I want to see what the responses are first. And many times I don't have to respond because someone will see it if it's not right. If it's not what our standard is, someone will see it and they'll point it out. Yep. They will point it out. Ooh, this is hard. Jay Carter says, something I noticed is that the people that deviate don't scale up. They be on one contract forever, right? One contract. Walker said this skill can pay more than doctor's salary, pilot, lawyer, etc. They all have to keep a record of their work. All we got to do is click a button to keep a healthy inventory. That is a fact. I'm glad that Walker brought that up again because we were talking about that. I think that was yesterday when I when did I post that thing about Popeyes in the chat? Remember I said that if you the average income of a Popeyes owner is $315,000 a year? Was that yesterday? If it wasn't yesterday, it was either Saturday or Friday. But I had posted that because I was reading something and they were talking about franchises and how, Popeyes owners, they make more than McDonald's owners. McDonald's owners only average 150,000 a year. Popeyes owners, they average 315,000 a year. And I just took that number and I'm like, 315. Like, what would it take for us to do to match that? And it wasn't even a trade and a half per week. It's less than that. So I think it's about roughly about 6 trades for the month when you are in position. Now, let me just reiterate that. Once you're in position, 6 trades a month, you'll beat the owner of Popeyes. And they making $315,000 a year in profit. So they making $315 net. So you see why it's so important to take this serious. We're not over here playing games. This is not a game. I'm gonna find out what the average salary is like for different types of doctors and for lawyers too. Because it don't matter what number you're talking about, we can get to it. Hold on, let me say that again. Wait. All right, are we back? Check, 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 check. All right, we should be back. Is the audio back? Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Good. All right. All right. Cool. So, but yeah, we can get to it. Whatever number it is, we can get to it. We can get to it. Four candles back. Was that a new box or a trade? It was not a trade. You're talking about this? Let me see if I can isolate what I think that you're talking about. The owner, you talking about this candle where the circle is over? Talking about that? If your question is, was that a trade? The answer is no. The way that the market is actually positioning right now, is along the lines of what we want to see, actually. But we'll see what ends up happening here. But it could be positioning because it does already have stability and it also has range behavior present. So both are already present, and that's what we want. She was asking about the 440. Okay, so the 440, the one further back here. This one. Yeah, no, that was definitely not a trade. That was definitely not a trade. So let me put my little thing over there too. Yeah, so she was talking about this candle. Okay. This was not a trade. And as a matter of fact, this was not a trade, but why was it not a trade? Tell me why it was not a trade. And yes, stability is definitely present still, even now. Yep, even now. Let me see. Walker says out of range. Bingo. Nicole Blunt said not in the box. Bingo. So really, this is the same answer. Not in the box, out of range. They are the same response. And look at what Latoya says. Look at this. Look, the price crossed the strike. Come on, Toya. Come on now. Come on. Angel said the distance not met. Oh, Angel getting into it. All right. Angel's like, let's rewind. Let's rewind. She said the distance is not met. For starters, you got no +1. You had speed burst towards the strike at the end. And yes, so let me actually zoom in so we could just take a look at. Let's take a look at the first reasons. So we're talking about, in particular, this one right here, where this circle is. So on this candle, the question was, why was this not a trade? So in order to answer that, first of all, what trade are we talking about? This is good, good, good. Number one, what trade are we referring to? Are we talking about a buy or are we talking about a sell? And I'll wait for you guys to respond to that. And I would prefer that Leona respond or any of the newer people. Let the newer people respond to that. Was this for a buy? Were you looking at this for a buy or for a sell? On this one right here. And I'll act like I didn't see what Johnson said and Mr. Carter. Okay, so so Leona said a buy on the two candles to the left. Exactly. Very good. So okay, so you're saying from here, right? But if you're looking at this as a trade setup, you're looking for a buy, but you're not considering until you're here where the circle is. So once you're here where the circle is, our parameters don't line up at all. So this was a DQ out the gate, but this was a DQ even before you got here because the market just was not in position relative to the strike. And because it was out of position, there was no consideration of any trade setup whatsoever. Now, initially, it would have been for a buy. Let's say that parameters were met on this binary here. If parameters were met, it would be for a buy, and you would have been able to enter this trade. But that wasn't the case at all. It was out of position, so parameters couldn't have been met because it was already out of position anyway. If that makes sense. But that was a good question, and that was a very good response. Yes, it would have been for a buy, which we know could not have been the case because the market was not in position. So very good, Leona. Market is ranging very well. So tell me what do I mean when I say range behavior? Let's talk about some of the terminology that you hear me use. When I say range behavior, what am I talking about? What am I talking about when I say that? Range behavior. What's that? Leona, you're welcome. Yes, what is range behavior? Nicole says stability. Leona says sideways moves. And even though I don't use that terminology, I understand why you're saying that. And yes, kind of. But understand that a range does not have to be sideways. A range could be diagonal. A range could be horizontal. Right? So I don't want to be semantic with it too much. But I just want to get an idea of what you guys feel that it means. Angel, vertical range of the candles. Man, I tell you, Angel is something else. Wow. Angel got to relax. Yeah, Angel made me walk off the podcast last week too. She said something crazy. Latoya, distance between the top and the bottom of the candlestick. Very good. Very good. Excellent. I like what Shawnee said. He said no skyscrapers. That's right. No twin towers. See, Angel gonna make me walk off the damn lot off for coffee and charge too. She said the horizontal range of the movement also. Very good. Yeah, but you are all correct. So keyword is behavior, right? So if I say, well, the market has range behavior, and Mo said phase 2, bingo. Yep. Otis said clusters, bingo. See, so y'all know what it is. Because you got to understand something. Remember that the market can be ranging and not be stable yet. Hold up. Oh. Uh-oh, here we go. I know this is like this is what aggravates some people. They're like, damn, what does he mean by that? Why is he saying that? I thought a range meant stability. No, it doesn't. Range is the first indication of stability, isn't it? Haha. Doesn't mean the movement is stable yet. Now, if the market begins to range, that's a great indication that the market will stabilize its movement. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's currently stabilized. So there are times where you'll see the range, but you'll have wicks on the candles. You know what I'm talking about? The market is transitioning into stability. So you'll see wicks on more of the candles than not. So the wicks might be what's the dominant behavior. But if there is range behavior, that's the first step, because it means that, well, if the market's ranging, more than likely it's going to stay in the box. Exactly. So for me to say right now, yeah, the market is showing range behavior, I can easily say that because look at where the candles are. Where are all the candles? Where's every candle that you see? Well, with the exception of this little one over here. All these candles are in the box, an exception of the one here. And I think that the market just closed, actually. Yeah, because it's 5 o'clock. But this is cool. So I'm going to talk about this last point that I'm going to get off. So if you have the market displaying range behavior, it means that even when the market moves to another position, it should continue that behavior. So if it's not continuing that behavior, right, then you know that the market is transitioning away from stability, because the range is the first indication that the market is stabilizing. It means that, one, the market is slowing down, and two, the movement is beginning to stabilize. That's why you have a smaller distance in the movement of the candle or the vertical range. The distance from the top to bottom of the candle is starting to get smaller. The reason that that's important is because the smaller that gets, now with every new candle, that movement will be concentrated inside the box. So if the market's ranging and it's in the box, it's giving you the first indication that it wants to stabilize. And and you'll see this for yourself, as time will go by, you'll see it become more and more stable, more and more stable, more and more stable. The next thing you know, it's just ranging. In other words, even after a position change, it goes back into a range again. Even after a position change, it goes into a range again, just like here. See this? Market change position on this candle right here. All over the strike, touching the strike, ends above the strike. Then all the subsequent candles, where are they? Inside the box. All of them inside the box. First indication of stability. So all of this visually helps you to see how the market transitions into stability. So you don't ever have to wonder if it's stable or not. Just like if I say, hey, is the market stable? You should be able to tell me right away, yeah, it is stable. Now, me asking you, is it stable? I'm not asking you if a trade came. That's not important yet. Matter of fact, that's not important at all, because once the market gives you the trade, it's going to give you the trade. Question is the market giving you a trade when it's stable? That's the question. So yes, when I ask you if the market is stable, you should be able to tell me not quite there yet, or it's getting there. And when you say these things, I know that at least the market is doing what already? What is the market at least doing if you tell me that it's not quite there yet? Y'all answer that. What is the market at least doing? if the response is, it's not quite there yet. What is it at least doing? Otis said, moving slow. Keep going. Keep going. It's a word I'm waiting for. Ranging. There it is. Look at that. There it is. We know. And yeah, and Otis said it too. He said moving slow and ranging. Yes. Yes, it's at least ranging. At least. Because the range is the first indication that is stabilizing. How are you going to know if the market is becoming stable if you can't see it? So the market would have to slow down and begin to range in order for you to see it. Look at that. Shawnee, can a 10 micropip candle be in a range? No. He said, I personally feel the 10 micropip candle means too much speed. 100%. 100%. Now, you guys have often heard me say, there's still too much what? Let me see how good y'all are. See who be paying attention in the chat. Somebody will post a recording, and if no one else says it right away, I'll get upset and I'll say it. And I will say, there's still too much womp womp. There it is. Look at what Otis said. There's still too much movement. Come on now. Too much movement. And look at what Shawnee just said. What he just said. 10 micropip candle means it's too much speed. What is speed? Movement. All right. All right. There it is. There it is. All right, y'all. I'm out. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance, Coffee in Charge. Y'all know what it is. Love, peace, and soul. Dom DeMarco.